Hey guys, welcome back to the Tukes and Tires YouTube channel. I'm Zach, and this week we're throwing down some Bondo on the side of my Blazer.
Hey, is that Timmy's?
Yeah, because we're in Canada, eh?
Alright, so I guess we'll start off with what I have to do and all the supplies I bought and stuff for doing this. So I still have to go and scuff this down because it's still just shot with the primer. I kind of started at the bottom there, but some of the supplies I got first was I got some sandpaper, and you know, this is just the way I'm doing it. If anybody has any other way they do it, that's, you know, whatever you're doing, that's fine. But I got the sandpaper, I got a thing to cut the sandpaper. Also, I use Scotch-Brite pads after I've sanded it, just in case I've missed in any little nook and cranny. I got some primer for touch-up, just for if I have to touch up any of the spots if I sand it through. I got, the guy told me that they switched the name, but this is basically Final Wipe. They just call it Wax and Grease Remover Mild. I got straight stick so that I can see my panel to see after I put some Bondo on how straight it is. I got some trowels. I think this is like a 5-inch. I got a 2-inch. Some cardboard to mix on, and I got these cheese grater looking things to knock the Bondo down while it's setting up, just in case I need to straighten a little bit. And we got our Bondo. We're using platinum plus filler. Ooh, sounds pretty fancy. We got the blue hardener. I got some tape that I'm going to throw down onto the body line just to give me a guide, but I think we're going to start by scuffing up the side here. So we'll get you on a time lapse, and then we'll come back to how I would tackle this. So here we go. Alright, well, you can see that I got it all sanded down, and that I kind of worked the panel. I did it as where it was most flat, I worked it faster, obviously, but then where all my weld joints were, I made sure to go kind of slow so I didn't wear the primer off too much. And then I went in there afterwards with the Scotch-Brite, and I knocked all the little kind of indents and stuff down. And then I cleaned it with Final Wipe. I wiped it a couple times. I know I only showed you guys me doing it once, but I wiped it like 2 times just to make sure all the debris was off. So now, once we got all that tackled, now it's time to assess the situation. So where I'm gonna start, obviously, is on all my joints. So like here, and going across like this. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to take a straight edge. So I grab my stick here, I can put it on here, and you can see how much my gap is, so that I know roughly when I'm going to build this up. Obviously, you're going to put a lot of Bondo on, and you're going to take a lot of it off. It's just how it goes when you're doing this kind of thing. So I'm going to basically just start mixing her up and throwing it on. And for anybody that's wondering, that 120 is a little bit of an aggressive paper to use, but this the primer I'm using is kind of like a fill primer, high build, so it can take it. And I'm going to be putting plenty of other coats on of other primer, because I'm going to put a sealer primer on, and then we're going to wet sand it afterwards. But we're going to get to that stage once the Bondo is done. So yeah, we're going to start mixing up Bondo, I guess. So for what I do for that is just get yourself a, whatchamacallit, old piece of cardboard. So when you're ordering stuff online for your sweet rig, make sure you save all the cardboard because it comes in handy later. Got myself a stir stick, so I'll just plop a whole bunch of that onto here, put my hardener in, and I mean, for anybody that's wondering how much hardener to put in, I mean, I guess that's up to you. If you know how fast you can work, or you know, you just put it in. You figure it out as you go. But yeah, just stick it in. I kind of stir it up with the stir stick, and then I'll take my trowel, and then I'll kind of do you pick, move, and then kind of move it, and you keep blending it until it looks like a solid color. And then remember, work fast because she'll harden up on you, and you'll be pissed that you got a whole bunch still on your cardboard. So I'm gonna get to mixing and plastering, I guess. I mean, this is exciting. We're getting there. It's gonna look pretty sweet. Well, I got some Bondo on there, so now what I'm doing is I have this like homemade kind of straight edge thing, and it's got like 80 grit on it, and I'm kind of blocking it. That stuff is still a little tacky over there, so I'm going to let it set up. But this stuff that I first put on, it's dry, so I'm already starting to rough it down to get it somewhat straight, and then we'll come back and we'll apply more Bondo and keep straightening it out. But it's getting there. It's looking pretty good. Okay guys, well you're basically gonna block it and you're gonna get it to a point kind of like this where you're gonna be happy with it. Sorry about all the splotches of paint, but this has taken me a couple weeks to get to this point. Obviously working on other things and just life, so there's I'm trying to cover up bare metal. But basically you're gonna get it blocked and smoothing out straight to the best of your ability by using an assortment, like I said, of like straight edges, and then you're gonna have like straight sticks and stuff like that to make sure everything's straight. But now that we got to a point like this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it down once again. And just because I was using, I don't know where it went. Oh, it's all the way over there. Never mind. I'll show you guys in a bit. Basically, because you've been using like 80 grit sandpaper or like aggressive stuff, I'm gonna go with like a filler primer on this whole thing, just to fill in most of the deep scratches, just because I don't feel like, trying to sand it out with smoother stuff. So we're going to clean it down and we're going to spray with the filler primer. And then after that, we're going to use basically a guide coat and still to see where our low spots are. So we're going to let's get to clean this down and spray on some primer. Well guys, it's looking pretty snazzy. We got 3 coats of, it was Duplicolor filler primer. Just the can looks like this.
That's just going to help with all my deep scratches from doing all my body work. So when I go to wet sand it, and I'm going to be using, it's just a black sandable primer as my guide coat. So basically when I'm going to go to wet sand this, when I get to it, it'll be able to show me all the low spots that are still in this, because it's pretty close now. There's just a few little things and some small spots, and then there's like, I don't know if you guys can see that, there's like small little pinholes and stuff I gotta fill. But I'm running out of time here. Winter's approaching, and I need to get this motor out of here. So I think that's gonna be it for now on the body work, because we got to move on to getting this out so that I can continue on cleaning the frame and painting all that before it snows. Because once it snows, like in the shop here, we turn off the water so, you know, things don't freeze. But yeah, it's starting to look like something. I'm pretty excited. But thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate it. All you guys commenting and stuff. It's really motivational, and I'm glad that I can help some of you guys out while doing this. But we'll catch you next time, and don't forget to salute the beaver. Lacey, what are you doing? You just chilling here with Lenny?